So that was actually update count 2 in my whole time of playing this game for like almost a year or whatever, right? That's only the second time I've had to do it. So I wonder what that update actually is, since this game is basically dead or whatever, just like not supported anymore. And one thing that I saw when doing that is that it actually has 4.5 stars on the App Store, which is surprising. You would think there would be a lot of people shitting on it, at least for that reason alone. Like, oh, it could have been good, but it never had adequate support or whatever, right? So they should almost be mad about that. And I'm always tempted to buy attacks with its life instead of its attack, and of course it has some innuendo going on with the imagery, but in multiple senses. Like this is like what they say in Quiet on Set, the stupidest shit ever, like where the kid either trying to accuse somebody of whatever, Dan Schneider, of some sexual incentive in what he does. So like the kid's wearing like a big nose and he sneezes on somebody and they say, oh, they're trying to go back and say, oh, that was meant as innuendo, right? So like the same thing here, this game should get banned. Let's have a documentary about how this health nut was actually some sort of innuendo that is quite clear what it could appear to be. But no, I do like Wall Knight's sort of style of play and everything, so I almost would be inclined to buy that one too, but I gotta really hold out for Bad Moon Rising. I've been exclusively basically just getting event cards and not actually buying packs for like a super long time. Yeah, this will be another short episode and just whatever. Like, I don't even know what I'm trying to do with it. Just at least I'll wait till I get Bad Moon Rising, and then when I do, I'll just play as, I'll try to get to rank 50. But I mean, I don't have time to really do that, right? Like, I don't play long enough, no matter how. Even like Captain Combustible would be more suited to that. Because, okay, you just play super aggro, and that's the best way to try to climb, but... What was the last event card that I really got? I think it was, that stupid, I can't even remember now. I've gotten, like, at least 3 or 4 of them. So again, I could have bought, like, 20 packs for that amount, which certainly at this stage in your collection, you should still do that, but... He's only ranked 9, and it is a little bit into the season here, so it doesn't mean like, oh, you know, he's just going to be some really good player who just hasn't played, or he's just a bot anyway. +1/+1 if there's a zombie next door. Why don't we just ignore it, though? I mean, going face is the point with this thing. Right, if he's going to outface me, then he's going to win anyway, or whatever. Like, I'm not going to try to... That's the whole irony, like, 2 aggro hunters... face hunters like from Hearthstone to face each other, but then they would have to play on the board to survive, or, you know, sometimes at least that would be advisable for them to do. And often the best card I get is from a Discover effect, like a Conjuration effect, but, you know, not in that case, like something outside of my collection. But no, Combustible has been pretty good, and it kind of is me embracing the style of play that you should go for in this sort of context, where your collection is sort of both random and just not very good generally, even though I do have some pretty good things in there. It's just like it's not cohesive, so just go for full-on aggro, and that ends up being how I end up having to play with a lot of my other decks anyway, even if they're not like, you know, Wall Knight or Smash. I'm not really playing aggro, but you kind of have to, because you can't wait too long, otherwise you're going to lose to a lot of these better decks anyway, which I guess my decks have become a lot better in time. Like, just you have a couple legendaries in there, you have, you know, zombies haven't gotten a single legendary though in this whole run, right? Like, forget about, oh, plants have gotten multiple of the same one, multiple dark matter dragon fruits, but I mean, they've just gotten multiple overall. And it's, again, I haven't crafted them, so that's completely a reflection of its own, you know, just dynamically based on the game itself. I haven't gotten a single hero from a pack, and I haven't gotten a single legendary from a pack except for plants. All zombies in your hand get +1/+1. You could buff this one, I guess. I don't know what else I should do here. Because mine will actually still survive, too. I do like the animation on that with the fire and everything. They'll ban Captain Combustible because it's encouraging kids to start forest fires, right? Like, it's showing a tree on fire. Wow. This is the stupid age we live in where you would think, you know, this is the way that people think. The whole point of doing something in a fictional context is to avoid that. Like, oh, you know, Pal World is encouraging whatever, it's pissing off PETA or something like that. They try to shut down Pokemon, you know. This is a horrible turn to have. And all plants get +2. You don't even really need that, and it won't even still kill it, even if I do that. This just seems like a total waste, but nothing I can do. Yeah, I won't say combustible is one of my favorites. Certainly a style of play I don't even really like aggro, although in this game it's maybe a bit more suited. It feels like mid-range and aggro is where this game is at. I don't think it really even has that many control type decks, or what even seems like control isn't that crazy. Like, it's still more measured. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't go as far off the control deep end as some of these games do, which is partly because it hasn't been out for that. Not that it's not been out for that long, but it's not been supported for that long, like with new cards, expansion after expansion. So then it just moves everything up a level, right? Once you do that. Oh, it's been out for so long that now this fucker still won't die though, even if I do that. Right, like he's still gonna buff up before that. Start of tricks. I should just kill this with this. And then try to... Fuck it, just still go face. I can still afford to do it. He's out of cards though, so you almost should play on the board here to the extent that... But no, it's like, after a while, what used to be control now is mid-range. What used to be mid-range is now aggro. And what used to be, you know, what is now control is like way crazier. Right, like in Hearthstone or something, a mid-range deck is going to have like this crazy thing that would have felt like, oh, that must be a control card, but it's not, because power creep and just the bloat of the cards has gone so far, right, that it's just taking it to another level. You were still not in a terrible spot, but we just have to survive on the board a little bit. And he's just a little dry on cards, so it should be okay. And it does damage, conjure a mustache. I almost should have done that just to fill up the other space, but I don't think he's really going to do anything with it. No reason to hold anything back either. So at least if we trade into everything here, we'll be fine, right? We have the block meter, we have the 3 health. This is the whole troll element of the block meter. It's like I can go face and just not get punished for it, because the block meter is able to save me time and time again. So I'm using it not defensively, but aggressively, because it justifies not worrying about getting killed. Even though I am still pretty close to that. Tommy does a bonus attack. I guess we can keep that around. Now, we'll still end up losing to this. In fact, the amphibious in particular, I don't think I really have an answer for. I could override that and put this here and hope that it covers up the other lane. I don't really... See, that's the worst thing you could do in this situation. That's like a bot play. Why wouldn't you put it here or here and put pressure on me to summon something else when I only have 2 cards? Right? Why would you be worried about that 6 health? Whether it's a bot or not, that's just a dumb play to make. See, all you would have had to do is put it there and I lose, because 1 damage plus that, and I wouldn't have been able to block for both of these, and I guess I lose anyway, but still, in principle, that was like a dumb play. Right, why would you worry about that 6? I guess maybe if I have another bonus attack thing, but I won't really blame Combustible for that too much. That was kind of a tough match. You get your little 10 times boost tickets, which I guess I would... Like, I've never gotten an event card like that, right? Because it... How much would you really have to... I don't know. I do want this one, whether for the memes of the phallic imagery or whether because of the... I mean, look at the positioning of it. The fact that it's a nut on top of everything else. Like, look, dude. Look, don't bust a nut while working out so hard. It's just too perfect, dude. This game is supposed to be for kids, isn't it? Attacks using its health instead of its attack. But what does that mean as far as its health value then? Like, it attacks using its thing, but then it loses its attack once it is a pretty fun card. I mean, I'm going to keep getting an event card like every fucking week, because at least if I do these, right? See, like, I hate that. What if I'd won that first game? It wouldn't have registered these because I didn't look at it or something. And yeah, what the heck was the update anyway? Because crazy zombie hero using anti-hero cards. I don't know if I'll actually end up doing that one. Can I win 5 games in this short session that we have? If we get to 1,000 or close to it, maybe I actually will buy that one. I'm going to just fucking farm out every event card, but I'm going to regret it once Bad Moon Rising comes out, because I want to have that 1,000 cushion, but some of the ones it's giving me are actually kind of cool. Like, you know, again, I'm doing that more for the joke of it, but it's actually kind of a cool card, and whatever, you can buff it up and it can turn into something else entirely. I do like Wall Knight in general, but again, not in a controlled context, or at least I can't play it like that yet. I love the disco ball one, right? The perfect offense into defense, or defense into offense idea that every time they hit it, they take damage. And of course, the whole purpose of it is to take hits because it's just a defensive thing. Or not even that. It takes it even further. Not every time it gets hit, but every time any of your nuts get hit. Is he gonna turn into like the pooping joke in Ark Survival Evolved? Like every few minutes your character poops. Like, ah ha ha, so funny. I'm surprised that's not memed on more. Like just something inevitable. So every time you talk about nuts, wow, that's so funny, right? Like this is how modern humor works. Fuck, I messed up. I should have done that. Very rare that I have like a 0 cost thing to do. I mean, I can still do it next turn, presuming he can't get rid of this, but okay, that's actually fine. Is it actually going to be somebody who commits to that, or is he just using that like to the ice type of build? Fuck. Or is it because he just doesn't have anything better? Okay, so that was an actual misplay at the beginning, but it's okay. Now, I should almost play on the board a little bit, but I also shouldn't at the same time. It's kind of confusing. You should do 2 and 1. I mean, it still kind of works out on curve. When you play a pet, all pets get +1, and then we will play a pet. Right, so just present it to him in a scary way, like, oh, we're gonna go face. Yeah, probably the biggest point of praise about this game overall that I would give it, speaking of those 4.5 reviews, is the way they show the minions on the board is actually really cool, because it's like, it's something that even AAA other kind of card games don't do, where it always shows the card or always shows some other visual element, right? So this game doesn't do that, right? It makes it just seem like it's just out there. And then also just the presentation overall, which is maybe to be expected from a particular or I should have, wait, no, it doesn't matter because that one will be summoned later from the gravestone. Just the presentation overall, the sense of style, the puns, that sort of in-universe whole vibe to it. But that's just true of the whole PvZ franchise overall, is it has like a great sense of style to it. So we're almost going to ignore that at our own peril here. The 5/5, but I mean, that is quite a strong board that we have here. Yeah, see, this almost feels like aggro, but it basically is. Like, play it like it's aggro, but then if the game drags out a little bit longer, you have some good options, like the nurse and the 6 mana 7/8 and stuff like that. You could move like that thing there almost, but you could do both, and then yeah, I mean, it wasn't guaranteed for sure. He could have had some crazy recovery play, but that whole ice mechanic is one that I always make fun of. It can be good if you really commit to it, but it's not really that good on its own. Let's try to win these 5 games, but I keep sort of giving a bias to certain heroes too. Like, we always start with Combustible just because he's new, and then we always start with, you know, or you know what I should have done is I should have bought like a zombie hero, but actually I can't. Right, I'm actually not allowed within my format to buy a zombie hero because, like, instead of buying all these event cards. And the reason why is because I set this condition that I have to have a legendary of each type. So like if they're a brainy and a crazy or whatever, right, the two categories, I have to have a legendary of each category before I'm allowed to get a hero. So like for Captain Combustible, that was true, right, because I have whatever, I don't even remember, but we have at least 2 legendaries for that, for each of his classes. So technically, until I get another zombie legendary of any other class, I wouldn't even be able to buy one by my criteria that I'm setting. So it's not enough to do a no crafting challenge, but I always like doing all these kind of weird zany formats with stuff that I do. Now, I don't know whether I should be worried about that guy or not, but you have enough healing and stuff to actually last through even an aggro deck, but you probably shouldn't be this careless with it. Now you're taking 6 just for really no good reason, but I guess I got to give myself a reason to use that. Now, would I sack this guy for that reason? Or I guess even that would be good because it's just going to be invincible. Sports Imp. When this does damage, shuffle 2. Okay, see, that's one of those long game mechanics that's just not going to come into play, although that's not bad statting either. Why does it feel like a little bit laggy? Maybe it's because of the new update, which I don't even know what the hell it did, but obviously probably not much. Like, why don't we just ignore him for now, and we could actually kill it with this? Couldn't we? 2 or less. That's the perfect response for this kind of card that you put so much into. I always get punished with the 3-peater with that. Like, I'll put the 3-peater down and be like, oh, it'll be okay. I'll buff it next turn. And then, you know, it'll be okay, they said. Buff it next turn, they said. And then it just dies because, you know, like, very efficiently. Alright, that didn't work out entirely how I thought, but we should still... Wait, no, I don't even have enough... Fuck. I don't even have enough mana to do it, though. That's my mistake. Not that this thing's too threatening now, but he could always do some crazy buffs to make it better. You would always prefer minions with higher health and lower attack as a base than higher attack and lower health, because you know, just give it a couple attack and it becomes so dangerous instead of, you know, whatever. I still can't get rid of it even now, but this plays into my whole love of, or my hate for tricks or spells basically in these games, that I love hexproof and untrickable type mechanics overall, but you know, this is the best that the zombies can muster. Of course, this was an event card too. Someone once told him the best defense is a good offense. He disagrees. Defense he likes is the one he smashed through. I should actually read like all the flavor text, just like whenever it's an idle moment in a turn. Say what you will about the costume, zombie morale has never been better. Some of them are just kind of like matter-of-fact type things, and some of them are actually good. There's no eye in zombie. Hey, that one's okay. This one's okay. Some of them go into like a super elaborate. See, now I'm going to regret not. But I'll still be able to do it. I'll still be able to do it if I just do this one. But this dude's just been caught between 2 removals that I've had a chance to use and just not done so. I could have gotten rid of it at any time with that. So now if I fail to get rid of it with this, I'll be very surprised. They're not even really that good, but I guess they're efficient. But that would presume that you still have a lot of stuff in your hand, which you technically do. Now I'm going to miss lethal because I'm going to try to kill that. Like, all I have to do is kill this and he just dies. Right? I don't even have to worry about it. Just do this in case something somehow fucks up, but it really shouldn't. Yeah, that would have been unironically a mislethal moment, though, because I was so fixated on that stupid moon the whole time. So it actually was a good thing that I didn't get rid of it, because if I didn't do it exactly that way, right, I would have lost, because whatever, it was such a tight game at the end. That even if I wasted that 1 mana to kill it with the stupid Rolling Stone, maybe that would have set me back enough damage to not be able to finish him off. But it would have set him back, too, a lot on the board, but that's obviously just a very efficient play that I should have done. So let's get up to 1,000, and then I'll buy that stupid-ass nut card. I'm pretty much obligated to have to take it just for the memes of it. I don't know if I even want to do that, but I guess it is efficient. Only for 1. Yeah, I've been sort of addicted to the event cards just because it's a short thing, and some of them have been pretty fun to use. Yeah, see, it's perfect for a turn like this. Just do it. You got to have like a certain value for the center of the board is always the strongest thing, potentially. Center pawn structure, like in chess. Although there wouldn't be like a guaranteed meta thing, like, oh, what lane is the best to put stuff in all the time. There's not always a fixed meta with that, right? It's subjective because, you know, who's to say which of these 3 lanes? It depends on your deck. It depends on so many circumstances. -1, -1. It should be fine, actually, because... But this thing can be so good, because you know, you don't want it to die or trade in because you'll keep spawning stuff every single turn, and it might seem like a waste. But if you're playing like a long game, like this is the most control type of card we have. If you keep doing it over and over, it's going to fill up your hand and it's going to make you last forever basically. And so that is what control is all about, but it's going to be hard to keep it alive. Like you'll use some removal on there and then it's just over. But if you don't do that, you can really punish them for it. Evolution does 2 to each plant, which is actually really good, and he looks really sick too. I would totally get that if it was an event card, just like almost every other one out there. I get the stupid Spyrus thing just because, oh, I want to click on the gravestones, even though I haven't gotten to use that mechanic yet once, I don't think. Because even the few times I've gotten to summon it, there's nothing on there because it's such a low-cost card. So I'm like getting it in the early game. But in terms of the... So I got that one just because that, oh, that's a cool interactive effect. Fun and interactive card game. And then the other one is the, whatever, the anti-magic mushroom thing. I'm not even in that good of a spot. Why is he quitting? Rank 29? Get him to rage quit on like turn 3? Or maybe he just genuinely is disconnecting. Maybe the update is too much for him to handle on his dinky little phone. I guess I will get it though. Because what will end up is like, oh, next week will be Bad Moon Rising, and then I won't have enough for 2 of them, so I'll fuck it up again because... Damn it. I can't help it, though. Or I could wait till next week, but then I still won't know, right? I won't know whether it's Bad Moon Rising because I wouldn't look it up or anything. I'm just going to assume it's, like, never going to be that. So... This is fine. Sometimes I'll keep like one higher cost minion in here too, just for the simple fact of being able to, you know, oh, you'll have something to look forward to and you won't be wishing for it later. Because that often does happen, because with this guy at least you last a little bit longer sometimes. The flag zombie is very important though at the beginning here. Damn it. Oh, it would have been perfect to play that guy there, but how would I have known? Like, you can never think like that. Now it'll still be perfect too, because you'll kill both for one shot. Even though it's not the best curve play to make, it's still too good of a play. I'm playing too concerned on the board in a way that maybe I shouldn't. That's at least an efficient play, and then you... Yeah, it seems like it's lagging a lot today. I don't know why. Like, you could see a little stutter there. My computer can't handle this game, by the way. Which it has crashed a couple times and stuff like that. I don't know really what to do with that. Like, see, should I... See, like, even there, it looked like it lagged. I don't know what to do, even. When I get hit, it's going to... kill that anyway, so I may as well just get some damage in. Like, it'll absorb the 4 if it's somewhere else, but you may as well just absorb it here then. I guess. All zombies on the ground get -1, -1. Okay. Wouldn't have made much of a difference, I guess. He started off pretty strong, but I can recover if I can just stabilize a little bit on the board. This feels kind of stuttery today overall, because I can't do anything with that. So it's one of those instances where maybe I should just ignore it and hope for a removal to try to get rid of it. I don't know if it really matters much to play for Amphibious right now. There should totally have been a class of cards that's like aquatic, where it can only go in the water, and... you know, they're just kind of a little bit stronger for it. Okay, no reason not to do that. Like, that's a trade-off. Instead of, oh, it has the option of going on land or in the water, it can only go in the water. +2 in Frenzy. Won't really matter too much, though. But, like, they'll do it just to update, like, an animation or something stupid, or to make it seem like they're still doing stuff. Imagine if a big streamer was to have played it this much as what I have done, right? If it wasn't a clown like me, then you'd basically be in a position to, I think I'm just dead no matter what here. Then it would have been like, oh, you would have single-handedly revived the game, and then they would start updating it. That is the kind of power that you have. Like, imagine if XQC played it or somebody like that. It's always my only example of a big streamer. I always use him for some reason. Just because you saw that like with chess. Like he helped build up chess on Twitch in some weird way. That like, oh, he was playing with Hikaru and like all this kind of stuff. Not because he's a good chess player or anything, just he's some big streamer who plays a lot of different categories. But that managed to make it happen. So it's like, you know, it's just weird to see that. Okay, he did pretty good there though, so let's try Green Shadow. But yeah, see, I always hold those ones. I guess it just it shows how much I like or dislike them. Like, for example, I don't like Solar Flare that much. I don't like some of the other zombies, and so there. See, like, I'll keep that just because, whatever. We'll get the chance to play it. Never, because we never do, but let's just try to win these two for sure. I should try to do a weekly quest within the week that we get it. Give me 2 good wins in a row, which again, Green Shadow, despite the whole Dark Matter Dragon Fruit thing, is not that actually good in terms of his record. And at least today we're getting sort of decent matchups where like their ranks are around mine, and it's not the beginning of the month, so it's not like, or the beginning of the season, whatever. And so it's not going to be an issue that way either. With respect, maybe I shouldn't play on the board though. Like I should always still just put pressure on them. Because if they are playing like a more control style deck, says the guy who has Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, it's like, oh, I'm playing right into their hands with the fact that I'm dragging the game out. But that feels like a dumb way to look at it. Okay, just put this down somewhere. You just got to beat them on the board and just win like that. And that's the most fun way to play a card game ever. And I maybe overdo it a little bit. Like with Magic, I've been so, you know, how can you play Magic the Gathering and hate using Magic? But even when the creatures are considered spells too. Like everything is considered a spell, but now you go here and then you go there. Your 2 superpowers, but he's playing way too slowly. Like you're almost about to die like right now. But your stupid ass block meter is gonna save you. But that was always good that one got through. Like, there's an RNG internal element to that, too. Yeah, you're sure stocking up on those cards. Like, that's really gonna save you. Like, what are you doing? You're just dead right now. What was that, dude? That's why you think it's a bot. It could just be a bad player. But, like, what was that? Was there really nothing else you had that you had to do the stupid-ass superpowers instead? I'm totally gonna get this stupid-ass... Like, if I'm able to win this next game, I will 100% get it, because I'll be over 1,000 again, and whatever. Even getting 1 Bad Moon Rising will be fine, I guess. After waiting so goddamn long for it, it seems like a shame, though, not to get 2. Oh, we'll wait for it again. Like, I certainly will not be playing the game the next time it comes out after that. This is such a dumb decision to make, too. I keep doing this. I could have gotten 2 Bad Moon Rising, but I was baited in by the stupid-ass phallic imagery of the nut. What is it called, even? Gym nut or something. Okay, this is fine. You should almost just do that to go phase, but I actually won't. It does seem to be lagging a lot. I guess I'll blame the update and not my computer or not my internet, even though this has crashed a couple times in the last couple of streams. I don't know why either. Of all the categories to do it. But no, it is a beautiful visual game. It's just this little dinky size of the screen doesn't do it any favors, really. We could do this one, but it's like the most slow play of the 3. This puts more pressure. This puts more pressure with the buff. Oh, look at this. This is the same clown that I'm farming again and again. They've run out of bots. You get the same one now over and over. Either they're a bot or they're just a bad player. Either way, it's not satisfying to beat them, right? In that case, but I'm happy to do it. I'll farm you all the way up to rank 50, and you might think, oh, that wouldn't work, but it would, because the matchmaking in this game is so busted that you can face a rank 40 at rank 10, or you can face a rank 10 at rank 40, and you'll still get the same amount of stars, it seems like, for it. At least I'm glad that it shows you that, right? But we could buff this sucker. Yeah, let's just do it, because we didn't have like a great curve play anyway. Let's just go for the kill, even though that's a bit of a greedy play. But he should die pretty much like right now. He'll be like 1 short. Or now that'll kill you, because don't you know My Death Volt Scalp effect. My real trap card is the monster effect. Oh, fuck, but he still didn't die. Like, where that could have been lethal just on the basis of... Wait, why? Oh, wait, because he's playing... He did it again. Yeah, that's totally a bot. How could that not be a bot? Nobody can be that bad that you're not aware of the effect that you just triggered. Let's try to farm out, like, a little more, I guess. If we just, you know, let's get up to 1,500. But you can't just do that, right? Because it's going to take a while to get there. Like 500 is a lot to make up for. So let's say Bad Moon Rising was next week. I just have to build up some amount of cushion. Let's just go like until Green Shadow loses. You might think it's dumb, like, oh, why keep this? Why keep so many gems? Why not buy packs? But that's why it doesn't hurt you. Pretend like you could buy 10 packs at any time that you want, but instead of buying them, you at least have them ready for something else that comes on the shop or whatever that you might want to get, which really there's been nothing interesting on the shop that ever comes up that you can buy with gems except for the Smash pack thing that had like 2 legendaries in it. Or no, it had 1 legendary obviously, but it was guaranteed, so I got 2 of them. But that I got it like 2 different times as well. I should have almost put a rule that I can only buy each of those type of things once, including like event cards. But I guess not, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to get them really, right? So what is this guy's effect exactly? 100 gourmet card. I don't really want to do this, but... all these rank 6s. We get 3 rank 6s in a row. The ultimate bad luck, but Green Shadow's good enough to withstand it and still win anyway. Sonic Boom. See, like or Sonic Bloom. We've never really seen this card before. When played, deal damage to the zombie hero for each plant, which would be amazing if you had like a bunch of team up stuff out there. We could freeze that guy and just go face with this. Freeze the zombie, draw a card, and just freeze the zombie. That looks like the little sprite that you suck up in Luigi's Mansion to like use the ice in your vacuum. Okay, that's still fine, but I'm kind of worried about what this guy might have coming up. Captain Combustible got the toughest matchup. We don't really have much team up stuff here, so maybe we should just do that anyway. That is still a decent amount, but all it'll do is pop his stupid thing. Right, like it'll just pop his block. Oh my god. It's so stupid. It's like, oh wow, that was a misplay because I helped him just play around the block meter, but also you can't. Or just make a literal bullseye deck. You would think I would like that mechanic more, but I don't even have too many bullseye cards or anything. It just feels like too much work that you have to go through to do it. That almost seems like a bug sometimes, where like you don't actually have anything, but it lets you play that anyway or something. Or maybe I just missed it, but sometimes that has happened. You have 0, but it still lets you play the superpower card that you get. Is that actually a leafy plant? It is. And then we could buff that, or we could just summon something else. I should just summon something else. This is going to be each other plant transformed into a plant that costs 1 more, which is kind of a fun evolve type effect, like from Shamans and Hearthstone. They copied Hearthstone. This game is actually a lot older than I thought too. It came out in 2016, or than I would have thought when I first started playing it. So like this game has lasted longer than whatever. Like it had more active support, arguably even than Elder Scrolls Legends, because somehow that they gave up on like as soon as it came out, which is ridiculous. Like what did they expect? Right, like within 1 year they expect to have made millions of dollars from it, so then they give up if they don't. Probably the same thing with this, but at least this seems like more just a pet project that they just did, and we'll see if it takes off, we'll see if it doesn't. But this is kind of cute, but it still won't even kill it. Fuck. each other playing. Like, that would be kind of a cute play, wouldn't it? If you just go for it. It'll be each other plan though too, right? So may as well just get rid of that environment as well. So that is a very fun card. Like, I would get that as an event card too if I could, but that won't kill anything. That won't kill anything. I almost want to do it there just to get rid of that one, but let's actually not. See, that's just a fun mechanic, whether it's even that good or not. We have Bad Moon Rising at home, Bad Moon Rising at home. Like, it's not nearly as good, but same principle, that you're just kind of transforming stuff into something better. Although it could be arguably worse based on the effects or something, right? It might be something with a worse effect or an effect that's very situational. So that's why it costs more. Okay, this is a little bit problematic. Because there's nothing you can really do about that guy either. And this still won't even kill it. And wait, that still didn't solve the problem. Fuck, I should have put that there. Okay, it's not Green Shadow's fault that I lost. Or now that could end up pushing up the lock meter that actually ends up saving me. Right from that guy. Oh shit. You ask and you receive. Bad Moon Rising. Wow, such a fun and interactive moment. Even though it is a fun card, it's just too good because there's nothing else like it where... Or like the cornucopia thing or something. I think does that for the what do you call it? Oh wait, we already did that though, so why was I even playing that? Just to like farm out some extra gems. So look, I hate to do it to you, potential Bad Moon Rising pick, but it's only 450 though. Yeah, like look how long it would take me to... I'd have to play like 10 times as long, which doesn't seem like that crazy within the course of a week. So that's why people would say, oh, don't buy event cards with gems, it's a waste. Just in and of itself, obviously. Either craft them or something else. Right? Because I think you can craft them. But I mean, obviously I can't. We have 590, so would we be able to get back up to 1,000 in the course of 1 week? We definitely wouldn't. So I better... Whatever next week's is, I have to make a point not to fucking use it. But yeah, we'll have that to look forward to next time. And of course, the meme potential is infinite. And I do like Wall Knight, so I mean, I'm kind of pampering him up. Let's look at how many event cards we've actually gotten. I can't say it's 500 exact for each of them, because some of them are like 400 or 450, which I'm not even sure exactly why, but we'd gotten this one for the fun little clickable gravestone mechanic. We got that because of anti-spell. We got that just because it's a cool effect. So we've kind of spoiled the plants a little bit with that. So that's basically 2,000 worth just for that. And then we got at least a couple, I think, also for the zombies. We got the football guy, and I think maybe one more. The football and the Frankenstein. So, I mean, they're all good cards. Like, these are both good mid-range, mid-cost stuff that I often lack. And then these ones are... I guess the Spyrus thing isn't really good, but it can be good maybe sometimes. Like, you do it to see what's in their gravestone on a very specific play, just to potentially counter something, like in some late game situation. It wouldn't be used at the beginning of a game as a 1-mana 2/1. Then it wouldn't be good, because what's the point? There's plenty of other better cards for that same purpose. You'd use it later on. And then this one's okay. This one's actually very good. I mean, whether you use the amphibious of it or not, just, you know what I mean? Like, it can be very, very annoying if you don't get rid of it. And then this is decent. It really just is more like a buff potential type of thing, because it's gonna keep costing itself its own attack by losing health. So that's what's not good about it, right? Like, and the thing sort of gets clipped on the sun there. Yeah, let's just appreciate this animation. Just the way that looks, dude. Come on.